Hi everyone, my name is Lori, my nickname is Rini, and I'd like to welcome you to Rini Beauty Creations. If this is the first time you've popped by to check out my channel, welcome. I do hope you like what you see, and if you do, please consider subscribing, hitting that thumbs up button, and sharing with your fellow crafters. If you've been to see me before and you're back, I am so grateful that you are. And again, if you haven't already done so, it would mean the world to me if you would hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and share with your fellow crafters. So for some reason this year it seems to be all about lighting. It wasn't intentional, but today's project kind of follows along those lines. So it's lighting and bug repellent. So we're going to do citronella lanterns, and this is one of those projects, again, super inexpensive and easily tailored to whatever your decor style is. And I'm kind of going away from what my normal one is because I may gift this to someone. So I'm using some colors that I don't generally incorporate, but I think that gives us all a chance to like broaden our horizons, or I guess you could say, and kind of get outside our comfort zone in our box just to play with the colors. And so I hope you like it, and if you do this, please go to my Facebook page, which I will link in the description box, and post it on my page. I would love to see your take on this project. So let me stop yakking at ya, and we will get started with the crafting. So for today's project, we're going to make some citronella lanterns with these wine bottles. And I decided to go with some kind of bright, cheerful colors. So I had this neon green lace that actually came off an old shirt that I'd like to tell you shrunk, but anyway. And then I got this, and this was just from an old sort of curtain that I had. So I like the flowers on it, thought it felt pretty summery. But we're going to start by giving them a coat of opposite paint. So where I'm putting the white ribbon, I'm going to do the green paint, and where I'm putting the green ribbon, I'm going to do the white paint. But with acrylic paints, they don't love to stick to glass. So before I do that, I'm going to give them a coat of Mod Podge. Now I'm going to use the dishwasher safe because, as I said, they're going to be citronella in my case, so they will be outside. So I'm going to use the waterproof one, or the dishwasher safe one. If you're just making them for in your home or maybe a covered deck or something, you might not need to go with the dishwasher waterproof. Alternatively to that, if you don't have the dishwasher one, you can go ahead and use regular Mod Podge, and then when you're completely done your project, you can give it a good seal coat of a varnish, a spray varnish, something like that that's okay for the outside, and that will work as well. So as I said, to start, we're just going to give them a coat of the Mod Podge, and that just gives the acrylic paint something to sort of stick to, and it will keep it on there better. So we do have to wait for it to dry. Now right now where I'm at, it's very hot. It's like close to plus 40. So mine's not going to take a really long time to dry. You can always pop it in the oven for a few minutes if you want to, just to hurry up the drying process, and just put it on the lowest temperature your oven will go, and pop it in, I don't know, maybe for 5-10 minutes. Shouldn't take too long with this. So I'm going to go ahead and cover both all the way around, and I'm going to give them both a full coat of paint. Alright, so now that our Mod Podge is all dry, I am going to go ahead and give it that coat of the green paint on the big one. And nothing fancy, just probably need at least 2 coats. Again, color is definitely personal preference here, so whatever color suits you and your decor, just go ahead and use that. Now I am not going to be too worried about full coverage where the lace is going to go. I mean, we want it covered, but it doesn't have to be perfect, but up above where the lace is, and you can just sort of measure that out as you go. There I'm going to want some pretty good coverage, so I'm just going to keep on going till we got our whole thing covered. I just kind of changed my mind. I'm finding it's kind of streaky, and I'm going to need a lot of coat, so instead of painting it on with the brush, I'm going to sponge it on. And I kind of like the look of it too. So again, personal preference, it would still work if you were to brush it. It's just going to take a lot of extra coats. And as I was sort of playing with it, I did find I kind of like this easier, and it was easier, and I like the look of it. And it's going to give me better coverage quicker, I think. So I'm going to do it this way. Again, personal preference, do it whichever way suits you. But I just found this was going to go on much easier, much quicker, and give me better coverage. Okay, so there's our bottles painted, and I did cut the lace to size. So what I'm going to do, just to hold them in place, because I'm going to Mod Podge this lace on, but just to hold it in place while I get started here, I'm just going to put a little dot of hot glue right at the top there just to hold them down. So I'll get them nice and tight. Dishwasher safe necessarily. And you see, I'm just pouncing it on. I'm not going to paint it because it gets it right into that lace a little bit better than if you try and brush it on, and it'll move so much. So we're doing a lot of the sort of sponge technique today, just pouncing it where it needs to go. And don't worry about the seam, we'll be hiding that up later. But I do want a decent overlap, because I feel like if I don't do that, sometimes they sort of curl apart even with a good coat of Mod Podge. Not very often, but once in a while, so I just wanted to have a decent overlap there. And if you're still feeling like it's moving, you can, do your first part here, and then if you want to, you can let that dry, and then that'll give you a good strong bond over your lace here. And I'm going to do that for both of them. Okay, so our the lace is all Mod Podged on there and dry, so now we're going to move on to the last bit here. And this is the part I like the best, where we get to play a little bit. So I think I'll start with the smaller white one. And I've got all these, I just went through my stash to see what I had that would kind of work with it or go with it, and we'll just play and see what we come up with. So I'm going to set this one aside for a minute. So I think I really like this stuff. I wasn't sure how to incorporate it in anything, but I think I really like it just around that part. So simply just with hot glue. And I was trying to find the seam, so I'm starting and stopping. I guess if you got a bad side, have all the bad side together, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm just gonna go around. And if this is just for an inside decoration, you probably don't need as much glue, maybe just in a few spots, but because I'm going to be putting this outside, it'll be somewhat undercover, where it's actually going to probably be for someone, to be honest, but I think I know where they're going to put it, so just going to go all the way around just to make sure, some of the elements it's protected from some of those and just has a little bit more staying power, I guess. And then we'll just trim off the excess. Oh, maybe. Oh, nope, that's good. So that's what we got so far. And then I really did like this ribbon, and I thought it matched pretty well. So I think we'll do some around the neck here. So maybe right at the top where that paint spot I missed. That'll be a good place to hide that, won't it? Save me from having to go back and do it again. And same thing, just using hot glue. Just gonna go around the outside here. Oops, probably should have untangled it first. There we go. And with this ribbon, I think when I'm done, I will probably just go over it with some of that Mod Podge. Outside Mod Podge. Again, it's, as far as I'm aware, it's going to be kind of undercover. And of course you can't really do the Mod Podge with the flowery one here, but I think it'll be okay for what we're doing. Now let's try that again. Also had this crinkly stuff that I really kind of thought was cool, and I think I might just add that on there too, just as a sort of finishing touch on the top here, just to give it a little extra. But of course this is all just whatever suits you in your decor and what you like to do. If you like them a little simpler, a little plainer, or if you want to add some glam to it and put some sparkles or gems or something like that, you could do. I mean, it's so versatile, something like this. You can do so many things with it. And I like that I have 3 daughters and a daughter-in-law, and I really like that they all have different styles and tastes, so I can experiment and play with all of the different ones. So then I thought, just for a bit of a finishing touch, I had these butterflies, and all my girls are butterfly girls. So I was trying to find a way where I might want to incorporate those, and I didn't know that I was going to hang them or just glue them on. I'm just thinking that if I just glue them and they're outside a little bit, it may not stick real well. And being, if it was both glass, I could use E6000, but being wood and glass, I'm not sure that they will adhere very well. So actually, maybe that would work. Yeah, I think that would work okay. I think the glue will stick good to the wood and the lace. So let's do that. And I think that's all I'm going to do with this. I don't think I want it to be too much more fussy than that. So then for the final bit, you're going to need the metal cap. And the reason you're going to need that is because we're going to put the wick through it, and it's not going to work with the cork. So the metal ones, we're going to take our X-Acto knife. How to get get one of these out here so I can make sure I get it the hole big enough. There we go. And these they just came from my local Dollarama, so you can get these anywhere. I think I paid $1 for both of them. I think that's what it was. I lost the top now, but so very, very inexpensive. Excuse my reaching under us here. Forgot my. So then with our knife, I'm just going to cut an X. Now it might dull your blade a little bit, but it goes through super easy. So I'm going to cut one way, and then I'm just going to do the X, if that makes sense. And this is going to do, if you do it this way, this is going to do two things for you. Of course, it's going to create the hole, but it's going to keep it from sliding too. If you just did a hole, like just screwed a hole in there or something, it would probably slide too much. So with the little tangs on the bottom, oh, this bit, yeah, do take the plastic insert out. It's going to keep it from sliding. So then we'll take our wick, and you'll have to push it in this way. If you try and do it the other way, it's going to get caught. And there's our citronella candle. So we'll decorate the other one up here too. So, and we'll just fill it with the citronella. I just got this one. We have a field store. I think I want to say I paid $10 or $12 for it. I'm not even sure if it's that much. But yeah, it lasts a long, long time. So getting one of these will last forever. I know the dollar stores were carrying them. When I went, they were out. They just had the candles and the wicks, but they didn't have the citronella left. I don't think the bottle was as big as this at the Dollarama, but you can usually pick them up there anyway. So that's our one done. Like I said, I might go over this with just a bit of the Mod Podge, just the waterproof one, and maybe even give it a bit of a spray varnish just to do the best I can with this part here. But other than that, we're going to be pretty much done, and I will finish up the other one and we'll light them up and show you the final product. So here's our finished product, and I do think they turned out pretty cute. Looking forward to trying them in some different styles. I did need more citronella. That larger wine bottle, the wick wasn't quite long enough to touch the citronella, so I will pick up some more of that, but you can see a smaller one lit up there. Thanks for watching.